The Copper River Delta provides hundreds of square miles of pristine habitat, perfect for migratory birds. Every May and September, millions of shorebirds and waterfowl move through the delta, stopping briefly to feed and rest. Sandpipers and snow geese, cranes and loons. Like clockwork, nature's perfect storm arrives and departs in a din, just barely enough time to call Alaska home. The eagle is the proudest of American symbols and chief emblem of many Alaskan native clans. One native tale is of a small boy who befriended the eagle. His elders chastised the boy for feeding the bird when the tribe could barely feed itself. But when times turned particularly hard and the tribe was starving, the eagle returned the boy's generosity and brought him untold riches of fresh salmon, sea lion, and whale. The boy who befriended the eagle became himself the most revered of figures, a noble chief who taught the lesson of how man and nature must always live in harmony. The Cry of Gold in 1896 by Yukon prospector George Carmack sent tens of thousands of starry-eyed Americans north to Alaska. Even the mayor of Seattle traded his post for a pick and a shovel. From Skagway, gold rushers swarmed up the Chilkoot Pass and along Dead Horse Trail. A 2 to 3 day trek up this pass alone, some dragging a ton of gear. The hopeful struggled onward to the Yukon goldfields, often in the worst possible conditions imaginable. The gold rush fever ran high, and its symptoms were backstabbing, claim jumping, and downright unlawful cheating. Fortunes were made and lost at the drop of a hat, and for 2 years, Alaska glittered like never before. But when the gold dust finally settled, most returned home with empty pockets. The brief Klondike Gold Rush is legend, but it would not be the last time Alaska would be a destination to get rich quick. Outside Skagway lie the remains of its gold rush legacy. Heroes and scoundrels return to the same earth that held so much promise. Like many boom and bust Alaska towns, Skagway probably would have folded a century ago if it didn't have a lifeline to the interior, the White Pass Yukon Railroad. A testimony to Alaska's determination, this narrow-gauge train is the product of years of powder blasting, granite chiseling, and back-breaking sweat. It's living proof that in Alaska, men can move mountains. Frozen rivers slip imperceptibly by toward an ice-green sea. Glaciers are the simple outcome of gravity and time, monuments of ice that can bend and warp light into shades of tropical blue. Alaska's glaciers number into the thousands, and Glacier Bay provides some of the most dramatic vistas. The rush to Alaska used to be for gold, but now it is to witness Alaska's frozen beauty.